Hey guys, I am going to discuss assignment 6 and this assignment based on the Cardon method. So let us consider the first problem, that is a cubic equation. So now here let us consider the given equation, that is x cube negative 21x negative 344 is equal to 0. So let us consider the equation number 1. But in Cardon method, as we know that our standard form of the Cardon method is, that is a standard form of the cubic equation, that is x cube plus qx plus r is equal to 0. So now here we need to substitute, or we need to put the value of x, that is y plus z, in equation 1. Then y plus z to the whole power 3 negative 21 multiplied to y plus z negative 344 is equal to 0. So now a plus b, by using the identity, we can write here y plus z to the whole cube is equal to y cube plus z cube plus 3 times of yz, y plus z negative 21 y plus z negative 344 is equal to 0. So it will give y cube plus z cube plus 3yz, y plus z, that is x negative 21x negative 344 is equal to 0. So now further we need to write here y cube plus z cube negative 344. Now you can take the common x from these two terms, so it will give 3 yz negative 21 multiplied to x is equal to 0. And now further we need to compare with 0 plus 0 times of x is equal to 0. So after comparing, we can write this whole equation becomes 0 if and only if y cube plus z cube negative 344 has to be 0, and the second condition 3yz negative 21 has to be 0. So from here we can write yz is equal to 21 over 3, that is 7. So now further we can write here, that is y cube plus z cube is equal to 344. Take the cube on both sides of this equation. We can write y cube z cube is equal to 7 to the power 3, that is 343. So let us suppose this equation is 2. So now we can construct the quadratic equation having a root y cube and z cube. So now the quadratic equation with roots y cube and z cube is, that is capital X square negative y cube plus z cube multiplied to x plus sum of roots, and here that is a product of roots, is equal to 0. Substitute all the value from equation 2. We will get x square negative 344 multiplied to x plus 343 is equal to 0. As now we can write here that is the factor of 343. That is, we can write here 1 and 343. So we can write here that is capital X square negative 343 multiplied to x negative x plus 343 is equal to 0. So from here we can take the common. So we will get the x as a common. Then we have x negative 343. Take the negative as a common. X negative 343 is equal to 0. So now take x negative 343 as a common, and here will be capital X negative 1 is equal to 0. So this root will be that is a capital X is equal to 343, and here x is equal to 1. So but x had two root, a y cube z cube, that is y cube is equal to 343 and z cube is equal to 1. Here y cube can be written as 7 to the power of 3 and z to the power of 3 is equal to 1 to the power of 3. So by using the cube root of unity, its roots are y is equal to 7, 7 omega and 7 omega square, and z is equal to 1 comma omega square. But the pair 7 comma 1 and 7 omega comma omega square and 7 omega square comma omega will satisfy equation 2. So therefore, if they satisfy the equation 2, then our roots x will be that is y plus z. So this value is equal to take the first pair, that is 7 plus 1. Second will be 7 omega plus omega square. Third will be 7 omega square plus omega. So now 7 plus 1, that is 8 comma 7 value of omega, that is negative 1 positive root 3 I over 2 omega square, that is negative 1 negative root 3 I over 2. Here will be 7 omega square, that is negative 1 negative root 3 I over 2, and plus omega, that is negative 1 plus root 3 I over 2. Here will be that is 8 negative 7 by 2 and negative 1 by 2, negative 8 by 2, that is negative 4. And now here will be 3 by 6 by 2, that is 3 root 3I, and its conjugate will be here. After adding this quantity, we will get negative 4 negative 3 root 3I. So therefore the solution of equation x cube negative 21x is equal to 344 is that is x is equal to 8 comma negative 4 positive negative 3 root 3I, and we can say that this is our required final answer. Now in this problem, as you can see that our given equation, that is, let us consider x cube plus 6 times of x square plus 9x plus 4 is equal to 0. That is equation number 1. So now we need to convert this equation in the form of x cube plus q of x plus r is equal to 0. So actually we need to eliminate this second term of this equation, of the given equation. We need to eliminate the second term of the equation 1. So first of all, we need to assume that, let us suppose, let alpha, beta and gamma be the roots of equation 1. Then sum of roots is equal to negative of 6. That is equation number 2. So now diminish the roots of equation 1 by a suitable number, that is h. Then the roots of required equation that we have to find will be alpha negative h, beta negative h and gamma negative h. So actually our required equation, we can say our required equation in the form of, that is, a naught y cube plus a2 y plus a3 is equal to 0. So here we can say the second term coefficient is 0. So sum of root, that is alpha negative h plus beta negative h plus gamma negative h is equal to 0. Here alpha plus beta plus gamma negative 3 times of h equal to 0. So from equation 2, sum of root, that is negative 6 negative 3h is equal to 0. That is value of h, that is negative 2. So now further, by using Horner process, by Horner process method, actually, or we can use the syntactic division method, that is negative 2, write all the coefficient in the standard form. Coefficient, that is 1, 6, 9 and 4. That is 1, 6, 9 and 4. That is 1. Multiply the 1 by negative 2, that is negative 2. It will give, that is a 4, negative 8, that is a 1. and here will be, that is -2, it will give 2. So this value is equal to, that is a3. Again apply -2, it will give 1, -2, that is a 2, -4, and it will give on addition, that is -3, and that is a1. Again apply the -2, that is a 1, -2, it will give 0, that is a1. Sorry, here will be, that is a2, that is a1, and the last value, that is -2, 1, it will give a naught. So we can say the required equation will be, that is a naught y cube plus a1 y square, a2 y plus a3 is equal to 0. Put all the value, that it will give y cube, it will give 0, and value of a2, that is a -3, and +2, that is -3y plus 2 is equal to 0. So our required equation will be y cube negative 3 times of y plus 2 is equal to 0. So now this equation become a standard form of Cardon. So we can use here Cardon method. So that is, this is in the terms of, that is y cube. So now it can be transformed into the standard form, or it is also, it become in the standard form the of cubic equation. So we can use here the Cardon method, that is y cube plus the q times of y plus r is equal to 0. So now for solving this equation, so let us assume y cube negative 3 times y plus 2 is equal to 0, that is equation number 3. So now we need to put y is equal to x plus, sorry, we can put the y is equal to w plus z, and in equation 3. So that will be w plus z to the whole power 3 negative 3 times of w plus z plus 2 is equal to 0. So we can write here w cube plus z cube plus 3 times of wz multiply to w plus z negative 3 times of w plus z plus 2 is equal to 0. So further we will get here w cube plus z cube 3 times of wz, this will, that is the y, 3 times of y plus 2 is equal to 0. So now here w cube plus z cube plus 2 plus take the y common here from this two term, it will give 3 yz negative 3 y is equal to 0. So by comparing we will get y cube plus z cube is equal to -2, and 3yz negative 3 is equal to 0. So now here we will get y cube plus z cube is equal to -2, and yz is equal to 1. So we can write here y cube z cube is equal to 1. So that is equation number 4. So we can construct the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation with roots w cube and z cube is, that is capital X square negative sum of root multiply to x plus w cube multiply to z cube is equal to 0. Put all the value, that is a capital X square negative of negative 2 multiply to x plus 1 is equal to 0. So further simplifying, we will get capital X square plus 2 times of x plus 1 is equal to 0. Here will be x plus 1 to whole square is equal to 0. So we will get value of x, that is a negative 1, and x equal to negative 1. Repeated roots, but we know that x value, that is a w cube is equal to negative 1, and z cube is equal to negative 1. So by using the cube root of unity, we will get the w is equal to negative 1 negative omega, and that is negative omega square. Here z is equal to negative 1 negative omega square. So out of these, the pair negative 1 negative 1 negative omega square and negative omega square and negative omega must satisfy the equation 4, that is a 4. So our root will be, that is a y, that is w plus z, w, that negative 1 negative 1 negative omega square negative omega. It will give negative 2. Take the negative as a common. Omega plus omega square, negative of omega square plus omega. So here will, that is a negative 2. That is negative of negative 1. Negative of negative 1. It will give negative 2. That is the 1 comma 1. This is the root of the equation 3. This is the root of the equation 3. But we need to find the root of equation 1. So further, the roots of equation 1 will be, so as we know that alpha negative h, that is the root. Alpha negative h, that is negative 2. Beta negative h, that is a 1, and gamma negative h, that is a 1. Alpha negative of negative 2, that is negative 2. Beta negative of negative 2, that is 1. Gamma negative of negative 2, that is the 1. Here alpha is equal to negative 2, and it will give, that is again negative 2. Here will be beta is equal to 1 negative 2, gamma is equal to 1 negative 2. So we can say that alpha is equal to negative 4, beta is equal to negative 1, gamma is equal to negative 1. So we can say that finally the roots are -4, -1, -1, and this is our required final answer. So now in the problem 3, so let us consider the given equation x cube negative 15x, write in the standard form, negative 126 is equal to 0, that is equation number 1. So now because it is already in the standard form, so that we can say, or we can write, and that is x cube plus q of x plus r is equal to 0. So now we need to put here x is equal to y plus z in equation 1, then y plus z to the whole power 3, negative 50 multiplied to y plus z negative 126 is equal to 0. So now we can write here y to the power 3 plus z to the power 3 plus 3 times of yz, y plus z negative 15 times of y plus z negative 126 is equal to 0. So now here y cube plus z to the power 3 plus 3 times of yz, it will give, that is a x negative 15 times of x negative 126 is equal to 0. So further we need to take the common from here, and further we can write, that is y cube plus z cube negative 126, take x as a common from middle, it will give 3 yz negative 15 multiplied to x equal to 0. So from here we can write y cube plus z cube negative 120 x is equal to 0 and 3yz negative 15 is equal to 0. So from here y cube plus z cube is equal to 126 and yz is equal to 5. So we can write here y cube z cube is equal to 125, and that is, we can write the equation number 2. So that is equation. So that is equation number 2. So we can construct the quadratic equation. So that is the quadratic equation with roots y cube and z cube is, that is capital X square negative y cube plus z cube multiplied to x plus y cube z cube is equal to 0. That is capital X square negative sum of root, that is 126 multiplied to x plus, and this product of root, that is 125 is equal to 0. So we can write here that is capital X square negative 125x negative x plus 125 is equal to 0. Take the x as a common from here, we will get x negative 125. Take the negative common here, x negative 125 is equal to 0. So from here x negative 125 multiplied to x negative 1 is equal to 0. So from here we can write the value x equal to 1, 25 and x is equal to 1, and 1 root, that is a y cube, is equal to 125 and z cube is equal to 1. So from a value of y cube is equal to 5 to the power 3 and z to the power 3 is equal to 1. So by using the cubic root of unity, value of y is equal to 5 comma 5 omega comma 5 omega square, z is equal to 1 comma omega square. Y cube and z cube is, that is, so now the quadratic equation with the roots y cube and z cube is, that is capital X square negative y cube plus z cube multiplied to x plus y cube z cube is equal to 0, that is x square negative 120x plus 125 is equal to 0. So we can write here x square negative 125x negative x plus 125 is equal to 0. So now take the x as a common from here, we will get x negative 125. Take the negative common here, x negative 125 is equal to 0. So take x negative 5 as a common, then we will get x negative 1 is equal to 0. So from here value of x is equal to 125 and x is equal to 1. So we can write here, that is y cube is equal to 125 and z cube is equal to 1. So from a value of y, that is a 5 comma 5 omega square and z is equal to 1 comma omega square. So out of this, only 5 comma 1, 5 omega square and 5 omega square comma omega must satisfy the equation 2, this equation, that is equation number 2. So therefore the root x is equal to y plus z, that is 5 plus 1, 5 omega plus omega square, 5 omega square plus omega, 5 plus 1, that is 6, 5 times of, that is negative 1 plus root 3i over 2 plus negative 1 negative root 3i over 2, 5 times of negative 1 negative root 3i over 2 plus negative 1 plus root 3i over 2. It will give 6, that is negative 5, negative 1, that is negative 6, that is negative 3, and here will be 5 root 3 negative root 3, 4, that is 2 root 3 I, and its conjugate will be, that is a negative 3 and negative 2 root 3i. So therefore the solution of equation 1 is, that is a 6 comma negative 3 positive negative 2 root 3 I, and this is our required final answer. So now in problem 4, so let us consider the given equation x cube negative 12 times of x negative 65 is equal to 0. That is equation number 1. So we need to put x is equal to y plus z in 1, then y plus z to the whole power 3 negative 12 times of y plus z negative 65 is equal to 0. So a plus b to the whole cube is equal to y cube plus z cube plus 3yz multiplied to y plus z negative 12 times of y plus z negative 65 is equal to 0. Here we will get y cube plus z cube plus 3yz multiplied to x negative 12 times of x negative 65 is equal to 0. It implies y cube plus z to the power 3 negative 65. Take the x as a common from these two terms. We will get 3yz negative 12 multiplied to x is equal to 0. So now further we can write here, that is y cube plus z cube negative 65 is equal to 0 and 3yz negative 12 is equal to 0. Here we will get yz is equal to 4 and y cube plus z cube is equal to 65. So take cube on both sides. We will get y cube z cube is equal to 4 to the power 3, that is a 64. So that is equation number 2. So now we can construct the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation with roots y cube and z cube is, that is capital X square negative y cube plus z cube multiplied to x plus y cube z cube is equal to 0. It implies x square negative 65 multiplied to x plus 64 is equal to 0. So we can write here, that is capital X square negative x negative 64x plus 64 is equal to 0. So now take the x as a common, negative 64 from here. It will give x negative 1, negative 64 x negative 1 is equal to 0. Take x negative 1 as a common. So now here will be x negative 64 is equal to 0. So we will get two roots of this quadratic equation. First one, that is the 1, and second one, that is the 64. Here we will get y to the power 3 is equal to 1, z to the power 3 is equal to 64. So we can write 4 to the power 3. So by using the cubic root of unity, value of y, that is 1 comma omega square, value of z, that is 4 comma 4 omega comma 4 omega square. And also we know that out of this only 3 pair, that is 1 comma 4 second omega comma 4 omega square and omega square 4 omega must satisfy equation 2. So we can find the root, that is x is equal to y plus z, and put all the value here, that is y plus z is equal to 1 plus 4, and here that is omega plus 4 omega square and omega square plus 4 times omega. It will give, that is the 5 omega, that is negative 1 plus root 3 I over 2 plus 4 times of negative 1 negative root 3 I over 2, that is negative 1 negative root 3 I over 2 plus 4 times of negative 1 plus root 3 I over 2. It will get, that is a 5 that is a -1, a -4, that is -5, and here we'll get positive root 3 and -4, that is negative 3 root 3 I over 2. Its conjugate, that is a -5 positive 3 root 3 I over 2. So therefore the solution of equation 1 is that x is equal to 5, and that is -5 positive negative 3 root 3I over 2. So we can say that this is our required final answer. So now in this problem, as you can see that so we need to consider. So now let us consider the given equation x cube plus x square negative 16x plus 20 is equal to 0, that is equation 1. So now we need to convert this equation into the form of x cube plus qx plus r is equal to 0. That means we need to eliminate this second term of the equation 1. So now we need to assume, so let alpha comma beta comma gamma be the roots of equation 1. Then sum of root alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to -1. That is equation number 2. So now further we need to diminish the roots of equation 1 by suitable number, that is h. Then roots of required equation will be, that is alpha negative h, beta negative h, gamma negative h. So these roots alpha negative h, beta negative h, gamma negative h are the roots of this type of cubic equation. So you can see that the sum of roots of the required equation, that is alpha negative h plus beta negative h plus gamma negative h, has to be 0, because if the alpha negative h beta negative h will be the root of the such type of equation, then you can see here the second term is, that is 0. So we can write here that is 0 times of x square, second term that is a 0. So further we can solve. So here it becomes a 0, that is alpha plus beta plus gamma negative 3 times of h is equal to 0. Alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is a -1, negative 3 times of h is equal to 0. So value of h, that is -1 by 3. So now we will use the Horner process. So by using, we can use the synthetic division or Horner process both. So by using synthetic division, methods, so we can write all the coefficient, that is 1 1, and that is negative 16 plus 20. That is negative 16 and plus 20. Here that is a negative 1 by 3. Here that is 1 and negative 1 by 3. After adding we will get 2 by 3. Multiply 2 by 3 by negative 1 by 3, that is a negative 1 over 9. So negative, no, that is a 2 over 9. So now add these two numbers, negative 16 and negative 2 by 9. It will give, that is negative 146 over 9. So multiply again, it will give 146 over 27. After adding, it will give 686 over 27, and this value is equal to A3. So now again write, that is negative 1 by 3, it will give 1. Negative 1 by 3, that is 1 by 3. Negative 1 by 9. Adding we will give, that is negative 49 over 3. So it will give the value of A2. So further, that is negative 1 by 3, it will give 1. Negative 1 by 3, that is 0. It will give, that is A1. And the negative 1 by that is 1, that is A0. So our required equation, so the required equation will be, that is A0 y to the power 3 plus A1 y square plus A2 y plus A3 has to be 0. So it will give, that is y cube. This term becomes 0, and value of A2, that is negative 49 over 3 y, and plus 686 over 27 is equal to 0. So we can easily see here our required equation will be, that is a y cube negative 49 y over 3 plus 686 over 27 is equal to 0. So that is the equation number 3. So now this equation is in the form of a standard form of cubic equation. So I can use here Cardon method. So we need to put y is equal to w plus z in 3. Then it will become y w plus z to the whole power 3 negative 49 over 3 w plus z plus 686 over 27 is equal to 0. So here it will give y cube w cube plus z cube for 3 times of wz, w plus z negative 49 over 3 w plus z plus 686 over 27 is equal to 0. That is w cube plus z cube plus 686 over 27, and this value, that is a y, it is also y. So we can write here 3 wz negative 49 over 3 y is equal to 0. So comparing on both sides, we will get w cube plus z cube is equal to 6 negative 686 over 27, and 3 times of wz is equal to 49 over 9. We have divided this whole term by 3. So further we can write w cube z cube is equal to 49 over 9 to the whole power 3, and this value become 1,17,649 over 720. That is equation number we can write that is 4. So now we can construct here as a quadratic equation. So now the quadratic equation with roots w cube and z cube is, that is x square negative w cube plus z cube multiplied to x plus w cube z cube is equal to 0. Put all the value here. It will give negative 686 over 27 x plus 1,17,649 over 729 is equal to 0. So now further we can write here that is a capital X square plus 686x over 27 plus 1,17,649 over 729 is equal to 0. So this can be written as, that is x square plus 2 times of 343 over 27x plus, this is a whole square of 343 over 27 to the whole square. So by comparing, that is a capital X square plus 2 times of xy plus y square. So we can write here x plus y to whole square. So by using that, we can write here that is x plus 343 over 27 to whole square is equal to 0. So we will get the repeated roots, that is x is equal to negative 343 over 27 and x is equal to negative 343 over 27. So here 1x, that is w to the power 3 is equal to negative. We can write here that is 7 over 3 to the whole power 3, and z to the power 3 we can write a negative 7 over 3 whole power 3. So by using the cube root of unity, we can find the w, that is negative 7 over 3, negative 7 over 3 omega, negative 7 over 3 omega square. Similarly, value of z, that is negative 7 over 3, negative 7 over 3 omega, negative 7 over 3 omega square. So by using that, we can write out of these only the pair negative 7 over 3, negative 7 over 3 and negative 7 over 3 omega, negative 7 over 3 omega square and negative 7 over 3 omega square or negative 7 over 3 omega must satisfy the equation, that is, so this is our required, that is equation, that is equation 4. This three pair will satisfy the equation 4. So therefore our root y is equal to w plus z. So it will, that is a negative 7 over 3, negative 7 over 3, negative 7 over 3 omega, negative 7 over 3 omega square, negative 7 over 3 omega square, negative 7 over 3 omega. So further we will write here, that is negative 14 over 3, Take the negative 7 over 3 as a common. We will get omega plus omega square. Negative 7 over 3, that is omega square plus omega. So but as we know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. So sum of omega plus omega square value, that is a negative 1. So here will be negative 14 over 3, negative 7 over 3, it will give negative 1, negative 7 over 3, it will give negative 1. So our root y will be, that is negative 14 over 3, that is 7 over 3, and that is 7 over 3. So now the roots of equation 1 can be calculated as, because this root, I think in the form of alpha negative h, these roots are alpha negative h types. So our required equation will be, that is value of x. So we can find the value of x. First of all, write all the roots here. That's a negative 14 by 3, negative, sorry, 7 over 3, and last will that is 7 over 3. And the value of h, that was actually negative 1 by 3. So add all the value here, that is negative 1 by 3. Add all the value here, negative 1 by 3, negative 1 by 3. So it will give negative 5, it will give 2, it will give 2. So therefore the solution of given equation 1 is value of x, that is a 5, negative 5, comma 2, comma 2, and this is our required final answer.